Alaska has always been a place of extremes, endless night, freezing silence, and miles of untouched wilderness. Everything looks beautiful from the outside, until you learn what the darkness hides. Tourists come for adventure, but locals know the truth. Alaska has stories that don't make it onto travel brochures. People here talk about the winter quiet. It's not peaceful, it's heavy. It presses on your ears like something is listening from the trees. And once winter settles in, strange things start to happen. There's a story from a couple who moved to an isolated cabin near Fairbanks. They wanted peace, a fresh start, but during the first week of winter they noticed claw marks on the outside walls, long, deep scratches. They thought it was a bear until they heard footsteps circling the cabin at 3 a.m., slow, crunching footsteps. When the husband opened the door, there were no tracks, only the claw marks freshly carved into the wood. Every night the footsteps came closer. One morning they found the marks not on the walls, but above their bedroom window, 10 feet off the ground, as if something had been watching them sleep. A trucker driving from Anchorage toward Talk reported something that made him quit driving that route forever. During a whiteout, he saw a woman standing in the middle of the road. No coat, no gloves, just a white dress blowing in the wind. He stopped and jumped out, calling to her. But when he reached the back of his truck to grab his flashlight, she was suddenly standing behind him, without leaving a single footprint in the snow. She whispered one word, cold. He drove away so fast that his mirrors iced over, and he swears he could still see her figure in the glass, watching him until he crossed the next town border. In small villages near the Arctic Circle, elders warn about something they call the night man. When the sun disappears for weeks, they say he walks between houses just after midnight. People hear his slow knocking on every door, one house after another. The rule is simple: never answer. But a teenager once got curious and opened the door just a crack. His parents found him the next morning standing outside in the snow, frozen upright, eyes open, pointing toward the tree line. Search teams later found a single trail of footprints leading into the darkness. Huge footprints, too big for any human, and spaced too far apart to match a walking animal. There's also a story from the oil workers up in Prudhoe Bay. During the darkest days of winter, they reported seeing tall shadows moving across the snowfields, even when no one was outside. The shadows walked like people, but stretched, distorted, as if the lights were bending around something that wasn't fully there. One night, an engineer radioed in saying he saw someone waving at him from the frozen lake. When the rescue team arrived, they found only his radio in the snow, and drag marks leading straight onto the ice, ending at a perfectly round hole. The lake hadn't thawed in months. Something broke through from underneath. Hunters in the mountains near Denali tell another story, one that many still refuse to repeat. During long hunting trips, they hear voices echoing through the trees, calling their names and the voices of loved ones. Some hunters follow the sound and never return. One man who survived said the voice he heard was his brother's, but his brother had died 5 years earlier. When he finally found the source of the voice, he saw a figure standing between the pines, wearing something that looked like his brother's coat, but the arms were too long, stretching almost to the ground, and the head was tilted in a way no human could hold. The man fired his rifle and ran without looking back. One of Alaska's darkest legends comes from abandoned mining towns. During heavy storms, travelers sometimes hear knocking from inside boarded-up buildings, like someone trapped and begging to get out. Locals say it's the spirits of miners who froze to death when a blizzard buried the town for days. A hiker once reported seeing lanterns swinging deep in the woods, moving slowly toward him. He followed them until he realized the snow beneath the lights wasn't being disturbed, as if the lights were floating. When he turned to run, he heard faint voices behind him whispering, "Stay with us, it's warmer underground." These are the stories Alaskans share during the long winter nights, some to warn, some to scare, and some because they're too true to ignore. Maybe it's the endless darkness, maybe it's the cold, or maybe there really are things out there in that frozen wilderness, older than humans, waiting for anyone who wanders too far into the night. And that's the thing about Alaska. You can leave the cities, drive just 10 minutes into the wild, and suddenly you feel it, like the land is watching you, like the winter is alive, and once it sets its eyes on you, it never looks away. If you ever travel there in winter, remember one thing: the most dangerous part of Alaska isn't the weather, it's what the weather hides. If this story gave you chills, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And tell us in the comments which part scared you the most, and drop your ideas in the comments. Your idea might be our next nightmare.